Boy, do we have a good one today. Are aliens evil? If they are evil, why haven't they obliterated us? I'm going to answer some very important questions. This is thanks to a subscriber who I'm going to shout out in just a moment. But I'm going to answer some questions that you may not even know about that's going to take you in a possibly epiphany that is going to be so cool. You ready for this? It's going to be fun. Let's talk about extraterrestrials, especially those who we think might not be so nice. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. I have so much fun. I don't understand why people don't like being alone. We're never alone. Okay, ETs. I'm not going to say aliens. I'm going to put it in the title probably because that's what a lot of people use the term aliens. I don't think it's a bad term. Only we decide, if something is bad or good or, oh yes, that's part of my subject today. I'm going to read a comment from a viewer, a subscriber, I hope you're a subscriber, that was so brilliant and it opened up a doorway, and I'm probably going to do several videos on it. So I want to do a big shout out to Sahil Sharma. This is brilliant. Sahil says, a big paranormal investigator asked questions to Spirit. Why did Spirit not answer just one particular question? Here's where it goes. Is there God? Yes. Are there other universes? Many. Are there aliens? Yes. Are they evil? No reply. What are you doing in our world? This is not your world. Are they evil? No reply. So, the question was from Sahil, why didn't they answer? Are they evil? I know exactly why. This may open you up to something so fabulous. It may help you to look at us differently, our relationship to the universe, the extraterrestrials, and beyond. Okay, let's start with good and bad. We name things good and bad. We label everything. Wrong, right, good, and bad. Humans have an explanation, a definition of that as should not be, is wrong, and right, and approval. In the universe, because we're of the lowest density, not you, the light being, you, the human you decided to become here. This role we're playing is to go to the lowest density in, I'd say, definitely in our universe, we're the lowest density planet. So we are really taking on a huge, huge teaching here, and that is to explore the depths of darkness in a way that other planets don't. So humans, because we have such defined lines of right and wrong and separation, we have separation. Because we have believed we're the only ones here, and even those of us who know that there are others out there, we still aren't exposed to it on a daily basis, and there's still controversy around it. So, those on other planets, in this universe and beyond, absolutely do not define good and bad, evil and whatever, because they know everything has a positive purpose. You would not evolve if you didn't have the trauma and the tests that you've had, that you would label bad. All right? So that bad in the universe is the very teaching that allows you to progress spiritually, which makes it good. But humans don't want that. So we say it's bad, it should never happen, because we don't understand what it is. We don't see the purpose in the teachings. We don't see them as teachings. We just see this thing happens to me. I didn't order that. And we so disempower ourselves. I didn't order that. Yes, you did. In fact, you are more kick butt than everybody out there who didn't take on those big challenges and traumas. You took on the master class, but you forgot that. So now you're blaming it and saying it's bad, it's evil, somebody else is evil. We're separate. It happened to me. When you go into that quantum space of awakening, you understand that nothing is chaotic, nothing is being done to you, and that you participate and agree to everything. And that you're playing that out right now. So when we say good, bad, evil, they wouldn't answer the question, because if they said yes, we would label them as something to be feared, which is what we've already done. Now here's what's funny about that. We're the ones that if we would use the terms that humans do of good, bad, and evil, we would definitely come under the category of evil. So if an ET asked another ET, oh, humans, are they evil, and used our language and definitions, they'd say yes. Humans are evil. They kill each other, they kill other living beings, they take away their life source so they can eat them, they harm, their babies, they deface their planet, they do things that are evil for money, for physical, they can go on and on, right? We'd look pretty, they bomb each other, they kill each other, they go into wars, they argue constantly, they're in stress and fear the whole time. They would look at our planet and say, oh, evil, hands down. Are aliens evil? By universal definition, yes. But here's the difference. The real definition of evil is lower frequency, self-serving. If they were evil by our definition, they would have wiped us out by now. Because we as humans, if we went to a planet where beings acted the way we do, we would decimate them. We would say, oh, look at what they're doing. They're killing each other. They're destroying their planet. We got to wipe them out. And we would do that. We do it to ourselves, right? We say certain species, humans, are bad, and we wipe them out with bombs. We take out whole villages, countries sometimes. Yeah? Does this make sense? So guess what? The definition of evil in the universal terms would never be used here to tell us that they are evil, because we would believe that they would do things that we do, because we're the lowest of the evil. We've gone into darkness that no other planet's going into. Their evil, that we would define as evil, of course self-serving, would never decimate this planet, because they're on such a much higher level than human beings that we can't imagine the word evil being anything up here. It is. Because they are a neighborhood of a galactic neighborhood. We're not part of that. So we see ourselves as singular here and separate. So we believe it's us, and they know that they're part of a neighborhood, right? So you can't do certain things. I can't do certain things in my condo here. We have rules here, right? I'm actually in a no smoking. We can't even smoke here. I can't have a pet here. There are certain things I can't do, and if I did, I'd be kicked out, right? I'd be asked to leave to go to another space where, maybe they smoke and they have animals or whatever. And so that's what happens. They're in a neighborhood where certain things aren't allowed. And so they are not allowed to decimate planets or go in and kill other species who are purposefully here. They would interfere with our matrix that allowed us to play out the game. So it'd be like, I'm playing PacMan and somebody comes in and puts in, I don't know, Donkey Kong in the middle of it. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm playing PacMan. For you younger folks, if you don't remember what PacMan is, actually, I know PacMan, a lot of people play PacMan now. It's like taking one game and you're in the middle of it and somebody puts another game in there with completely different rules. So why play the game? They're not allowed to interfere with the game. Because we are not these humans. We are all light beings. When we come out of this and we shed the ET body and the human body, we're all just light beings, and we all get back together and go, how'd you do? Oh, yeah, you looked a little scary, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't treating you very nice, and yeah, oh, because I was on another planet and I don't look like you, and all of a sudden, we shed all of that, and on the other side, all of a sudden, we're just one family. Does this make sense? I was thinking you were evil, and so I thought we were separate and I had to be afraid. Yeah, that's why we wouldn't answer the question. Because you think we're something that you have to hide from and fear. Because your definition of evil is what humans do to each other. They don't do that. They do some stupid self-serving things. Nowhere near on our level. Whoa, we're the ones. We're the worst in the universe. And they want to see us work through this. That's why many have come here to help us. Why? They want us to work through this because we affect the entire universe and multiverses and beyond, because everything's one thing. And so they want us to raise the frequency. They want us to be nicer. Coming in decimating, this destroys the game. That doesn't work. They can't do that. It was a chosen game that we came to play, and you took on the worst possible scenario for the greatest possible ending. And there's no ending of this adventure. And then you go on to the next one. The next one, maybe you're the ET. And then you go, whoa, okay. We can't answer that question, because if I said we were evil, they'd be running, screaming. You know, they'd see, what does military do? They try to shoot down every time they see something. It's our space. There's no space. It isn't our world. Nothing's ours. My friend was giving all these things away. She went through a traumatic situation. Her husband died, and somebody sold everything in her apartment. She came back to it, and everything was gone, and she said, you know what? I can't take it with me anyways. I said, you're right. She's a minimalist now. She said, she's so free. When you learn to let go of all this stuff, you realize there's no good nor bad. There is no evil. And I know you guys, I'm going to hear about this one. Of course there's evil, by your definition. It's the one exploring darkness, and every one of us is getting tested by that darkness. And if you blow up something or destroy it because you went into fear against it, you're using the evil term that the spirit entity wouldn't answer, because that's what humans do when they think there's evil. It needs to be destroyed, and that is the total opposite of what's going to transform our world into something amazing. Is there evil? Yeah, there's evil aliens. They're not evil like we are. They're a little nasty sometimes, a little self-serving. Yeah, they would never blow up this planet. They have no power over us either, because the Galactic Federation of other planets, they have laws, they have rules. So they keep that stuff under check. Why? Because they're way more evolved than us. So instead of planet Earth, where the greedy, evil ones have been ruling, it's the opposite out there. They're the minority. And so they're playing out density in that level so that they can see what that's like. Do you see what this is? We're not separate. We're one beautiful entity, so any interference with any of our games doesn't allow us to play it out as separate individuals, knowing what that is. So we come out of the chute. We all die, right? We come out of the chute and we're all in one room. The aliens, the ETs, everybody, the angels, the fairies, we're all in one room, and we all just are light balls, beings, and we all look at each other and go, oh, I don't know who's who anymore, because there's no separation here. I just see light beings, and there are different frequencies in that, but you don't know who was what, because that's what we are. We're just light beings. And it's like, okay, now what? Now what am I going to do with this? We're just one big old light galactic family, you better get it right this time. If you're depressed, you better get a handle on that right now, because you absolutely are this unbelievably powerful, unlimited light of the universe, exploring the craziest planet, game, program in our universe, and everybody's cheering us on, and we're getting all kinds of help, but it's up to us. And that's why you don't hear from a lot of the, whatever beings you're talking to. They're always helping you, but you still have to do it yourself, otherwise the game goes away. If anybody stepped in and changed anything for us, the game doesn't exist anymore. The program ends. Because we have to do it. We have to go from density. Somebody said, I wish the aliens would show up and just fix everything. I said, no, that's the whole point, is we have to fix it. And there's really nothing to fix, because there is no good nor bad. There's challenges, and there's no evil, because everything's one thing. That evil is the one. I know you may have been told something different. How can something be separate? How can something be separate? And if there's something evil that you think is separate, and you think you have to battle it, how can anything evil have any power over the one? It can't. It's impossible. Nothing presides over the light, the one highest source of everything. It allows us to play it all out. Evil can't overcome light, because it is light playing evil. And light is all powerful. So, what do you think? Some, evil army's going to come in and take over God? We have to think a little bit bigger than that. The one, I want you to look out in the sky. We're floating in the middle of space at 30,000 miles an hour. That's pretty freaky, don't you think? Do you ever look at your hand and go, wow, that looks weird? I do that sometimes, like, ooh, it looks sort of like a claw, don't you think? I can't associate with my body sometimes. I think humans are just strange creatures. Hey, you want to subscribe and share this? What do you think? That's why they wouldn't answer the question. I hope this makes sense. Did I just take you to another space of, wow, okay, the terms, the definitions, the terminology out there is totally different, because they're at such an advanced level of enlightenment that they don't label or name anything, and they know there's no such thing as separation. They know there's just exploration. So they also don't have the fear that we do. Fear is unique, and the emotions that we have here on this planet are unique. That's why a lot of them don't have the emotions that we do, because they don't have good nor bad. They know that certain things have to be done, and we freak out over it. Wait till we see each other. You know what? You're going to meet me after I leave here, and I'm going to say, I told you. Energy's just transforming into different things. It's exploring. You're going to transform into something else, and whatever frequency you're on, you create that, even out of this body. That's why it's so important for you to take it to the highest level. Don't be fearful of ETs. They're amazing. They're our neighbors. They're waiting us to get our whatever together. Please, can we do that? Stop judging and pointing fingers. That's you're looking at. And they know that. We're going to have this discussion more. I want you guys to just fire off on the comments. Come on. Yeah, if you're separating, limiting yourself, then it's time for you to just say, I don't have the answers, but I know one thing. There are endless creations out there. And just because I can't physically see them doesn't mean a damn thing. I had a friend that just got a hold of me, and I asked him to send me pictures of Sasquatch, and he's communicated with them. I said, don't tell anybody about it. We're going to keep it our secret. You know why? Because we like to destroy everything. We're so afraid of everything that's not like us, including ourselves. Somebody with a different skin color, They have a different accent, different religion. Yeah? What do? We turn on each other. We don't celebrate diversity. It's time to do that. 2022, we are going into action, and there are huge communities that are doing just that. I hope you will join it. And no matter what your neighbors say or what the media says, I find it humorous. It's so funny, it's not even believable anymore. I don't watch it, but what little I hear, I'm like, I can't believe that there are still humans out there that consume themselves with this stuff and believe it, and then spread more fear. If it has fear, it should not be coming out of your mouth. That's a frequency. That's a frequency. Your thoughts are frequency, and your actions, even more so. This is the year of action, my friend. Are you ready? So there we go. You ready? Yeah, you ready? Because we do have ETs here, and they're the ones that have to be afraid because of what we would do to them and the fear that we have. And it's time for us to break past fear, move past fear. Come on over, break through fear. It's changing lives. People are going into every day realizing there's never anything to fear, ever, ever. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I want to bless you right now and tell you that miracles can happen in your life. You can heal yourself. We can have energy that's free. We never have to do anything that will harm an animal or a plant, and especially another person. Be the change. No more finger pointing. We're going into a space of great awakening, my friend. And I know you're ready for that. Namaste.